Boom. It's a sound no one wants to hear. But on August 13th, 2023, that terrifying sound ripped through the air in Anakapali, Andhra Pradesh. The source? A massive explosion at the Escientia Advanced Sciences pharmaceutical factory. 17 lives were lost. 36 more were injured, some critically. It was a day of unimaginable horror. Families were shattered. A community was left reeling. This wasn't just an accident, it was a tragedy waiting to happen. Early investigations point to a suspected chemical leak. Methyl tert butyl ether, a highly flammable substance, is believed to have ignited. But the question isn't just exploded, it was allowed to explode in the first place. And the answer, as it so often is in these cases, seems to involve a toxic cocktail of negligence and disregard for human life. As responsible citizens, it is crucial to demand stringent safety regulations and accountability from our leaders. Before casting your vote, ensure that the candidates prioritize public safety and have a clear plan to prevent such tragedies. Sadly, this disaster isn't an isolated incident. Anakapali and the larger Visakhapatnam district have become grimly familiar with industrial accidents. Since 2019, the region has witnessed a string of preventable tragedies, each one a stark reminder of the dangers faced by workers every single day, each one leaving behind a trail of heartbroken families. In May 2020, a gas leak at LG Polymers claimed 12 lives and sickened hundreds. Just a year later, another leak at a seeds Inco factory injured over 100 people. The pattern is impossible to ignore. Anakapali, once known for its scenic beauty, is now haunted by the spectre of industrial accidents. The people who live and work there deserve better. They deserve to know that their safety, their very lives, are valued more than corporate profits. It's easy to get lost in the statistics. 17 dead, 36 injured, numbers on a page. But behind those numbers are real people with lives, dreams, and families who loved them. Each life lost represents a universe of grief and unfulfilled potential. There's the young man who had just gotten married, his future full of promise. The single mother working tirelessly to support her children. The breadwinner on whom an entire family depended. These aren't just statistics. These are human beings whose lives were tragically cut short because someone, somewhere, decided that safety was less important than profits. Section 4. Where were the safeguards? The investigations into the Escientia explosion are ongoing, but one thing is already abundantly clear. This disaster was entirely preventable. Early reports suggest a shocking disregard for basic safety protocols. The placement of an electrical switch panel near the MTBE reactor was a disaster waiting to happen. And then there's the question of safety culture, or the lack thereof. Were workers trained properly? Were their concerns about potential hazards taken seriously? Or were they, as is so often the case, silenced for fear of losing their jobs? These are the questions that demand answers. The families of the victims deserve to know what went wrong, and more importantly, how to prevent it from happening again. Section 5. The urgency of accountability. This isn't just about one factory or one company. This is about systemic failures that have plagued Indian industries for far too long. Lax safety regulations, inadequate enforcement, a culture of cutting corners and prioritizing profits over people. The time for empty promises and toothless inquiries is over. We need real accountability. Companies responsible for putting workers' lives at risk must be held responsible. Regulators who fail to enforce safety standards must be held accountable. And the government must prioritize the well-being of its people over the interests of corporations. Section 6. Preventing future tragedies. The only fitting tribute to the victims of the Escientia tragedy is to prevent similar tragedies from happening again. This requires a fundamental shift in mindset. Safety can no longer be an afterthought. It must be the top priority. This means enacting and enforcing stricter safety regulations. It means empowering workers to speak up about safety concerns without fear of reprisal. And it means fostering a culture of safety within industries, where every worker goes home safe at the end of the day. The road to change won't be easy, but it's a road we must travel. For the sake of the victims, for the sake of their families, and for the sake of a future where industrial accidents are not just tragedies, but distant memories.